in an age of perception, and reality sometimes doesn't have a whole lot to do with it. Perception has to do with it. We've tried to concentrate all these years on facts of what we do and what we do right, but in reality, it's perception of the people. My generation, I would say, is probably the last one that has remote ties to the land. My children's generation and beyond, even in our local town, they have no perception of agriculture or production agriculture or the traditional family farm.
This is what we do. This is, we were raised in it for 5 generations here in Kansas, and we've continued on, and for the want of a better deal, this is what we do. We like what we do. A lot of people have a job and then they recreate on the weekends. We recreate every day because we like what we do. So we consider it not really a job, it's a profession and I guess a life and lifestyle that we wish to enjoy, and our family enjoys it. A lot of the perception comes from a lot of the animal movies that we visited about before, where they make the animals more human-like, and as you do that, children who don't understand animals, they became to think that the cow and the dog and the pig all have human feelings. You think of these organizations who are highly organized and motivated through our legislatures, both federal and local and even county levels. You know, if you get enough pressure on there, pressure will yield. And if they decide that what you're doing is wrong, they can tell you you can't do that through regulation or actual laws, you know. And if you aren't willing to stand up here and watch that and monitor that, you will be regulated at some point down the road. As we go on further, they get further and further removed from direct contact or even a historic contact of production agriculture. So a lot of what they have is what they perceive to be good animal care, what they perceive to be good meat. And if it's our job to fulfill the perception, we stand the risk of being having the care of our animals regulated and through state and federal laws, which I don't think any of us would really like to deal with. The farmer rancher is basically the basic first environmentalist, and he is he's the first animal care person. And so we have a long history of understanding that, but the people in the urban areas, all they get is what they read and see, and a dog that they have or cat or whatever.
I try not to crowd or shout, or we use only the yelling and hollering. We try to keep that to a very minimum, and we just go as slow and easy as possible. Slow can be fast because the cattle handle better. You need less people to handle cattle that are taught to handle, and it's just it's like training your pet. You know, if you handle cattle properly and they're not ever really scared of what's coming, they will handle. And a lot of that basically just involves giving them time to think about it a minute and not trying to overcrowd. It's just like if they wad you as a human up in a huge crowd of 100 people shoulder to shoulder and say move through that door, and the door's a 2-person wide door, and they say we want you through there in 30 seconds, you're going to be in trouble. And you just, a lot of the stuff is pretty simple.